Dr. Charlton and Ob, how are you, my good sir?
I'm doing fantastic, my brother. And yourself?
I'm very good, man. I'm very good. How's life in Kenya? How's things there in Kenya, in the eye care landscape in Kenya, my brother?
Well, of course, things at this other side of our country is slowly picking up, and so is the contact lens practice. So it's developing. There are specialists coming up, and the interest is growing. So it's an exciting space to venture into.
Fantastic, fantastic. Dr. Ogingo, for people that will be watching this and they don't know which part of the world you're in, you practice in Kenya, correct?
Yes, yes.
Which part of Kenya specifically?
In the capital, Nairobi.
Fantastic, fantastic. And you are in private practice, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a private institution, not my own. I am employed. Yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. I've seen some of the work that you do, my brother, and Doc. You're doing incredible work out there in Kenya in making sure that optometry or eye care operates at the highest possible level. The reason for this, obviously, you wanted to get more information about the Contact Connect conference that's coming up in September. And so I figured let's use this opportunity to be able to answer whatever questions that you might have pertaining to the conference, because it would be great if optometrists and ophthalmologists from Kenya would make their way to South Africa on the 1st until the 3rd of September. So fire away, my brother. Whatever question that you might have for me, I'm here to answer all the questions.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I definitely know that this is a premier conference when it comes to contact lens. And of course, I've seen they're featuring top-notch speakers that is there on the website. It's a great place. So I just wanted to know, I'm interested in attending the Contact Connect conference. So just from your own perspective, is it really worth it?
Thanks for the question, Doc. Definitely, I would say yes. It's as much as we have these amazing lineup of speakers, both locally and internationally. The one thing about the program is that it's structured to get that person who is not using contact lenses, whether it be specialty contact lenses or general contact lenses in their practice, for them to get the confidence and the necessary skills that they need to be able to go back into their respective practices and apply the knowledge. For that optometrist who is already well advanced in specialty contact lenses, doing sclerals, doing orthokeratology in their practices, this conference then will provide them with the latest information and skills and knowledge that they will need to elevate their optometric practice skills right now. So the conference is very, or the program of the conference is very diverse in its structure, because it takes into consideration that everyone is at different stages within their clinical practice. And so you don't want to come to our conference as a beginner and feel that the information that is being spoken about is above your head. But at the same time, you don't want to come as an advanced or an experienced practitioner and have the feeling that everything that has been spoken about in the conference, you already know. So there's a good enough balance between the academic aspect of the conference, the clinical aspect of the conference, but as well as the practical aspects of the program are well structured, that people will be in a position to go back into their respective practices and implement the information. So I don't know if I have answered it in the manner in which it makes sense to you, but the conference is
perfectly so. Perfectly so. I really liked it. It's exciting that they are very thoughtful to be able to be accommodative to different stages in terms of contact lens practice. Now, having said that, so what should one expect, from attending the conference?
Thanks very much for the conference. So it's a 3-day conference. The preliminary program that is out is structured as follows. On day 1, which will be Friday the 1st, you've got a section specifically dedicated to specialty contact lenses and keratoconus, followed up by a section for the afternoon on soft contact lenses. And then in between, or the rest of the afternoon, there will be various workshops being facilitated by different eye care leaders throughout the afternoon. So all the delegates will be split in different groups. I think each workshop hosts about 25 people in a training facility or in a training workshop. So the rest of the afternoon, for example, on day 1, the delegates will be split into the different groups that will then be able to get them to participate in the respective workshops for that particular day. If you move over to day 2, there's a specific focus on myopia control and presbyopia. So the conference content then takes a different direction. And even on day 2, with myopia control and presbyopia sessions, there will also be workshops around that. So different leaders, whether they be from the academic, business, or clinical environment or practice, would then be the ones that are facilitating these workshops to be able to provide delegates with the necessary knowledge and skills. And then on the last day, it will then be general discussion points around the future of contact lenses as a whole within the eye care landscape on the African continent. So definitely, you coming all the way from Kenya, for example, it will be worth the trip, because there's already a lot of stuff that you are doing in Kenya that you will be then exposed to when you come to the conference, because the people that are coming to the conference are experienced in having traveled different parts of the world, and they have a good understanding of where eye care is in the respective countries all over the world. So when they speak, they're not speaking from a theoretical point of view, they're speaking from a practical point of view with regard to work that they themselves have gone through and put in the necessary hours in them, ensuring that they can be able to deliver groundbreaking work for us.
That's very nice. That's very nice. I'm really excited with the wealth of information that is going to be gleaned from interacting with people with such wealth of experience. So this conference is taking place in a certain place. I've seen the photos. It's a very exciting place. So what would one need to know, when it comes to things like travel arrangements, including accommodation, especially?
Are you still there, Doc?
Oh, sorry, my network was down. Have you had?
I can hear you clearly now, Doc. So you were saying that what is involved with regards to the travel arrangements and so forth?
Yes. Especially for somebody who is from this part of the world.
One thing that I will check for you as well, so that you can pass on the information to delegates or potential delegates in Kenya, is whether South Africa requires a visa application for people coming from Kenya to South Africa. I know that in South Africa, there are certain visa restrictions on, there will be times where there are no restrictions with regards movement within the continent of Africa from one country to another. So that is information that I will just double check with the travel agencies in terms of specifically with optometrists traveling from Kenya. Do they need a visa to be able to come to South Africa? The nice thing about the venue is that it's not far off from the airport. So you would be able to get accommodation where the conference is taking place. And even if you're not staying where the conference is taking place at the Areni Country Club, there's numerous other places around the vicinity of the conference that would also be suitable for you. And in terms of how far it is from the airport, you're looking at about a 20 to 30 minute drive at most with traffic. So I think South Africa, if you do make the trip, or when you do decide to make the trip, I would even recommend that you stay for an extra few days so that you can explore the beautiful country in South Africa. And the nice thing about it is that in September, when the conference is taking place, the weather will be much warmer as well. We actually had snow for the first time in Johannesburg specifically just the other day in many, many years. So in September, the weather will be beautiful. It will be the first day of spring. And so it would be an amazing time, not only from the conference setup, conference context of things, but also from the experience of the beautiful motherland.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So yeah, Doug, we look forward to having the optometrist from Kenya. As you can see, I've put the registration link on our stream here, but I would also send it to you, and we'll pass it around, and all the other information that I believe would be necessary for optometrists in Kenya to have, that will give them the confidence that it is worth the investment, that them coming to South Africa, it's actually worth it. So definitely it's something that I would send you the information for that.
So how is the conference, structured? I hope you have probably mentioned this earlier in our conversation, but how is it generally structured now in terms of the line of speakers? Like, what have they?
So I'm just looking at the preliminary program here as I'm speaking to you. It's split between formal lectures, wet labs, workshops. There are different suppliers, whether it be instrument suppliers or contact lens suppliers or pharmaceutical suppliers, who operate both here in South Africa, but also some of them do have a base in Kenya, for example. They have different sessions where they will be given specific time as a product burst. There is a big exhibition taking place. So in between the lectures and the workshops, you have access to the exhibition area, where throughout the exhibition area, you would be able to communicate with the suppliers. So let's say, for example, there's a conversation on scleral lenses, and you now are thinking, okay, I'm not currently doing scleral lenses in my practice, but I want to start. But I don't know of a local scleral lens supplier in Kenya that can be able to provide me with the necessary scleral lenses and software and tools. Then at the conference, at the exhibition, you would have access to various suppliers that would be able to then liaise with you in terms of how they can get you to start using the products, using the software in your own country, being Kenya. And so that's the nice thing about the contact lens conference, is that it has built a community of experts, a community of companies that are working in conjunction with one another, so that if a practice or a practitioner from another country comes to South Africa to attend the conference, and they're identifying opportunities that they can go back and start implementing the knowledge in their respective practices, the support structure is there to equip you Doc, so that you are then ready and able to be able to add value to your patients through the work that you will start doing as a result of what you gained from the conference. And so I think there's a nice balance between the learning aspect, the practical aspects of the program, as the interaction, the networking, as well as the fun activities. I think from what I experienced personally for myself in 2017 and 2018 and 2019 at the conferences that took place, it was literally out of this world in terms of I could not wait to get back into practice and start implementing the information. And then another thing that I must mention that's very, very important, the support from the Contact Lens Society is very, very strong. So you will not just be coming and then going back to your respective country. I've seen optometrists from Nigeria, Namibia, who have attended the conference before, going back, and a year later, 2 years later, they are still getting the support that was promised to them 2 years before. So it's literally an amazing. Everyone that's part of the conference is a practicing practitioner who has an in-depth experience of the different aspects that are involved when it comes to contact lenses, especially specialty contact lenses.
Amazing. Personally, I must say that myopia control is a passionate area for me, because of we both know that according to projected data,
Yes.
by 2050, half of the world is projected to become myopic by 2050. So
Correct.
That's an area that I'm very keen on exploring. Yeah.
And there's going to be an entire session on day 2, Saturday, the 2nd of September, that's purely dedicated to myopia control. And the nice thing about the conference setup and structure, there's a lot of panel discussions. So in the panel discussions, you would have the respective eye care leaders and trailblazers on the stage sharing and their information and taking questions from the delegates. So you will have discussions that are taking place within the particular topic of discussion at that particular point in time. And so you're not only getting the learning and the workshops, but you will also get the experience of other people who are perhaps in a similar situation than you are. So for example, in a panel discussion, that will be an opportunity for you to then raise the dynamics that are at play in Kenya with regards the awareness of the challenges associated with myopia. So you then raising that in the conference would then allow the delegates and the speakers to add their experience and their sort of like processes in terms of what would be best to help you in your respective country. Hey everyone, I think we lost Dr. Ogingo there, but I think, oh, here he's coming back on.
Sorry, my network cut off.
No, man, it's totally understandable. We're glad we got you back on. But yeah, Doc, I hope you got to hear me there, that the panel discussions will be suitable as well in providing you with the necessary information that you will need that will help you then know that, okay, the dynamics in my country are different from the dynamics in South Africa. So how do I go about navigating the landscape in my country when it comes to myopia control or any other topic of importance that you will deem fitting at the conference? But yeah, man, Doc, we're super excited. We look forward to having you at the conference, and we hope that we get to see you and make the journey to South Africa, because my oh man, it will be a great honor actually and a privilege to meet you in person and to meet all the other delegates who will be coming from Kenya as well. Everyone, watch out. I think people are super excited about the conference. A lot of information is being requested from optometrists from different parts of the continent. So on a weekly basis, we would share those questions that different delegates from different parts of the continent are having. We'll share it as live streams so that you get the confidence that no matter where you are in the continent of Africa, you've got access to the conference. So yeah, if you're not yet subscribed to Africa Media, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to register for the contact lens conference taking place from the 1st to the 3rd of September 2023. Registrations are open, so do so right now.